Zagred, the Word Devil, was a massive threat during the Elven Reincarnation arc in Black Clover. It took so much to finally take him down, and heck, he even fended off both Lumiere and Licht at the same time, while he himself had not even activated his full power yet. Obviously, at that point, he was the strongest villain in the series so far, but as you know now, there were more devils out there in the Black Clover world. That's the point of this new arc. Devils that are even stronger than Zagred. Because of this, Asta had to train for 6 months to become strong enough, especially since he was blessed with arcane powers, the ability to actually kill a devil. This brings in a lot of debate among the fandom. Has Asta's development after his slaying of the Word Devil made him strong enough to defeat him on his own? Because remember, last time Asta needed help, but could he defeat him now? I actually find this debate pretty interesting, so I want to put my own thoughts out there and theorize on if Asta is now strong enough to defeat the Word Devil. Now, you guys have been killing it with the like goals. You guys have killed it every single time. So we're going to start increasing the like goal because you guys are just blowing past it. Let's increase it to 1,500 likes for this video. That would be very much appreciated, guys. And also, join my Discord that will be linked down below. In my Discord, we talk about, Black Clover, fictional things, anything. You can debate other people. You can talk to me directly. I go in there and VC with you guys multiple times a week. And then there's a ranking system instilled into this, so the more active you are in the Discord server, the higher rank you get. You can even become the Wizard King within the server. Which one of you is going to be the first Wizard King? The server is called Cloverheim. Link to it is in the description below. So I think the first notion we must set up is that Zagred is not completely unstoppable. He's not this completely unstoppable force that everyone makes him out to be. He was defeated in the end. Now people will say then that it was because of the massive amount of people that it had to fight him. If you include every single person who fought Zagred, the list would be Patri, Asta, Yami, Sharla, Licht, Lumiere, and even Sekra in a sense. The thing here, though, is that a lot of the fights were meaningless when it came to actually leading to his defeat anyways, and there was never a point where every single one of these characters ganged up on Zagred at once, which is what a lot of people make it seem like it out to be. They'll say, oh, well, it took everybody to defeat him. Well, no, it didn't actually, if you actually go and read what happened or watch what happened. There were even moments where it was just Asta, taking on Zagred essentially by themselves. Now, we'll go over, at first, kind of how it went through. At first, it was Patri attempting to take on Zagred, though you can hardly call that a fight. Then Asta and would team up, and then they would get bodied, only for them to surpass their limits, and then still not be nearly strong enough to take down Zagred. Then, we would ascend upwards, and he would take on Licht, who would have been defeated by himself, had it not been for Sharla. Then it would be Yami, Licht, and Sharla would team up on Zagred, and they would be strong enough to force him to actually start using the power of the 5-leaf Clover Grimoire. With this power, he would essentially win that fight with the trio he was facing. After this, Lumiere would arrive, and he would fully awaken Licht's power. The two would team up, and they would do quite well, though they still are not enough to defeat the devil, and Asta is forced to intervene to help save Lumiere. Shortly after this, Licht would combine his power with all of the elves in the Shadow Palace and launch an attack on Zagred, only for it to not kill him anyways. Now, you might say that at least Licht was weakening Zagred, but that isn't true, as just a couple chapters later when Asta and anger him, Zagred would be so angry that Sharla would comment on how Zagred just attained an even higher tier of power. It is after this ultimate magic from Licht where Asta and team up against the devil. They both will get new spells, and Zephyr and Black Divider. At this point, the two of them are actually doing very well against Zagred, reacting to and parrying attacks from him, landing hits on him, and damaging him heavily, just not able to reach his heart and ultimately killing him. In reality, the only meaningful part of this fight was at this point and on. Licht and Lumiere do a combo spell to protect the elves, but that doesn't help Asta at all. And then, Patri is just protecting Lumiere and Licht so they can do this protection spell to protect other people who aren't even involved in this fight. Is this really the ultimate team-up here? When the two god-tier characters are sitting back and using their magic to protect lesser characters? In the end, it would be Yami's Dimension Slash, Zephyr, and Asta's Black Divider that would kill Zagred. So we know that even at this point, the Black Divider can destroy Zagred's heart, which means Asta can kill him. But the fight really shows that this really wasn't much of a team-up fight. Asta and really did a lot of the carrying here. We don't know exactly how much stronger Asta has gotten in the post-time skip, but we know it is a lot, as even Gaja had mentioned that he was impressed with how much more powerful he had become. So remember that the two-horned black form of Asta with the Black Divider was able to fight Zagred quite efficiently, and he was reacting to and parrying attacks, surviving damage from him, and even doing a lot of damage to Zagred. Well, this two-horned Black Divider Asta the one in the post-timeskip, would be drastically stronger and faster than the Asta who fought against Zagred back in the Elf arc. Asta's physical strength is way stronger, and he has way better control of his anti-magic. This is shown in the very beginning of this new arc by Asta using his Black Divider in base form, being able to fly on a sword, and being able to use Black Slash, as well as giving him a good ranged volley spell. Asta's range of his Black Divider is so massive, he sliced a massive fortress entirely in half. Pairing that new speed with range would be a drop to Zagred's chances of winning in their solo bout. Now, we'd also need to discuss, Asta only gets way stronger from here on out, as he would unlock a new level of the Black form, which is what the fandom calls Berserk Asta, the one where he now has 3 devil horns, a tail, and claws. He went against 60% Dante and was relative to him in speed and even hit and damaged him. Now, it is important to note that when a Dark Triad adds even 1% devil mana to their power, it is a tremendous increase in their power, meaning that when Dante's at 60%, he has 60 massive amps of power above his base form. Remember, in his base form, he was much faster than this version of Asta, who was himself much faster than the same version of himself in the Elf arc, as to which Zagred wasn't even that much faster then. Just remember how well Asta and Yuno were doing in a team-up against Zagred. Now imagine 13 Astas who are much faster and have bigger, stronger Black Dividers. I know that y'all are thinking that there's no way Zagred gets out of it, but here, Dante does. Dante does it at only 50% devil power, and Asta in Berserk form when he gets a 60% Dante. But it doesn't stop here. Asta, after getting obliterated by Dante's fists, would eventually join the fight later on. This time Dante would be using 80% devil power, while also finally using his body magic to increase his power even further. And remember, a 1% boost of devil mana is a huge increase as expressed by Noel. This means it's not just him being 20% stronger, it could even be 20 times stronger just because it is 20 phenomenal, huge mana increases. This means that 80% Dante, like I said, is 20 phenomenal boosts to his power higher, and then an added boost from his own body magic being added to the equation. Despite being incredibly drained from his fight from the before, Asta would be able to make a devil's bargain with his devil, sacrificing his arm to the devil in exchange for more anti-magic power. This is what people so far call Devil Arm Asta. This version of Asta is much stronger than Berserk Asta. This is because Asta was able to react and parry attacks from a much faster Dante and also do damage to him. We need to remember here that Asta is incredibly drained. He even says that this is the last of the power that he has. He is so tired that he can't even use his Black Divider. If Asta is to fight Zagred though in this fight, he has the devil form of the Devil Arm, but now he can actually be refreshed and use Black Divider with it. Another thing that can be brought up is the introduction of stages into the series and how it really makes you think how much stronger people have gotten. It is revealed by Lore Pachika that the Heart Kingdom and Spade Kingdom use a stage system to determine the strength of their soldiers in the military. The lowest stage is 9, and that's the weakest. It can go up to stage 0, and it branches outside of that, and that is the arcane stage, which means that person can kill a devil. It is revealed that you basically need to be stage 1 to even be able to fight a devil, and then of course if you are stage 0, that would mean you could generally fight a devil quite well. It is also revealed that stage 2 is that of a senior magic knight first class, which is the rank of a vice captain. So that means that stage 1 is essentially Elf Arc captain level, and stage 0 would be generally Elf Arc high captain level, like the top tier captains. Well, the staging system is essentially made irrelevant at this arc because there are so many stage 0 mages that Asta would make incredibly weak in comparison. For example, Asta in the beginning of the arc defeats a Spade captain without difficulty. This Spade captain was stated to have a top stage spell. This means that he has a stage 0 spell. This would mean by the very logic of the staging system that someone like the Spade Captain should have been able to have a decent fight against Zagred since he is stage 0, and Asta defeats him without difficulty. Another huge progression in this arc is the Dark Disciples and their insane power. For example, Vanaka's disciples are insanely powerful. They are stage 0 in base form. We know this because when they arrive to the kingdom and Lore Pachika says they are stage 0, they are only in their base form at the time, and then they would go on to increase their powers dramatically because they can use up to 50% devil mana. Well, these Dark Disciples would essentially, no diff, 4 of the 5 stage 0 Spirit Guardians. And even crazier is base Vanaka would one-shot a 50% Dark Disciple. We have to remember here that the Dark Triad are similar in power as stated by Noct. This would mean that Asta fought a base Dante, this base Dante who could one-shot a 50% Dark Disciple, that means that this 50% Dark Disciple, he is at least 10 times stronger than the Spade Captain. The Spade Captain is stage 0. So Asta essentially can defeat people with ease who are 10 times stronger than people who are stage 0. Stage 0 being somebody who should be able to fight Zagred quite well. So that really does show that, yeah, Asta right now would defeat Zagred. I don't even know if it would even be close, to be honest. He is fighting much stronger characters. We have to remember that Lord Pachika thought that Vonica and Magicula would be stronger than Zagred, and Vonica trained for 6 months in just this previous time skip, and Dante thought she had gotten way stronger. That means that Vonica and Magicula are way stronger than Zagred, so it just makes sense why Asta could be stronger than him as well. The Dark Triad are way stronger than Zagred. There's just so many things to go into it. The staging system really is pretty damning. If a stage 1 mage can fight a devil, and a stage 0 mage could fight them well, and Asta is no diffing stage 0 mages, then how would he not defeat Zagred? There's a couple things I need to add to this to make this kind of even more damning for how much stronger this arc is compared to the last arc, which is the Elven Reincarnation arc. And for one, you have the fact that Petrov is a stage 0 spirit guardian, yet he could do nothing to stop a essentially food berserk Charmy, yet Asta in his base form and then Rill are able to take this Charmy down. Remember, a solidified stage 0 spirit guardian can do nothing, but base Asta and Rill, who's not really even going that hard, it pretty much easily take her down. The next one I need to add is this another thing involving Charmy. Now, one of the things that I remember, I think, tweeting about a while ago, it was kind of like comparing the Dark Disciples to the Apostles. And for some reason, a lot of people think that the Apostles are stronger than the Dark Disciples, but it makes no sense. For example, we know how easily Charmy in her dwarven form defeated Lyra, the elf Rill. But if you look at her versus the Hare Disciple, the 50% Dark Disciple, her wolf couldn't even eat her hair. He couldn't even catch it. She had to use a array with, actually, it was multiple arrays combined into one to even do anything to her in her dwarven form. So, essentially, just regular dwarven Charmy should be drastically stronger than the dwarven Charmy from the elf arc, and yet she couldn't do really that much to, I believe her name was Harriet or Harlot or whatever, and then he should use essentially like 4 or 5 arrays to even take her down. So, that shows that this 50% Dark Disciple dwarfs Lyra. But that's my thoughts. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. Plus...